introduction. So hello and welcome again to our whole team winning call this lovely July the 21st 2020. We have an amazing new national marketing director, Sarah, that's on the call this evening. And Sarah, I wonder if you could just start, I've gone all formal now. I wonder if you could just start by sharing with us a little bit about, there's your rap line, Leslie, a little bit with us about your story and maybe who you were before Juice Plus or what you did before Juice Plus and how this business has changed everything.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Well, yeah, I'll try and keep this really concise with my story, but I'm a fitness instructor. Previous to that, I worked all sorts of jobs. From when I left college, I was in TV, fashion, and it kind of was almost like the dream jobs on paper for people, you know, to work in TV and fashion, but it just wasn't wasn't me. I wasn't a good employee at all. Excuse me. That's typical. I've got something stuck in my throat. I wasn't a very good employee at all. I would literally get to the train station and want to turn back. I just hated it. So when I had my son, I literally got a job working in a gym, selling the gym memberships, and even then I hated it. I was just being told what to do and I just hated it. So then I ended up doing a freelance fitness instructor course, and then I kind of found a passion with like dance and fitness. So that was my sort of passion then. I loved that, but the job was very seasonal. So I don't know if any other fitness instructors are on, but it's a really seasonal job. Like, you get to December, no one wants to really lose weight. It's a bit like our job, you know, no one really wants to lose weight. No one really wants to, you know, everyone's covering up, so they're not too worried. So sometimes I would go to a class where I would have only like 6 people there. I was sometimes paying to go to work and teach my own class. So when it comes to Christmas, I was always struggling for money. So when someone, it was a nursery mum, approached me about business, she was like, oh, you know, really nervous to ask me. She's like, oh, you'd be really good at this. I was like, okay, I'll do it. And I think she was quite shocked at how keen I was. I didn't even know what it was. I didn't know what the shakes were. I didn't know anything about it. All I knew was that I needed money. And I know some people join out of love for the product, which I think is amazing. But for me, I joined out of absolute desperation, to be honest. I was just looking for anything. And every Christmas, I was the girl that was looking for any job. Like, I'm a hustler. I will work. You know, I'll do anything I can. But it kind of has to always be on my terms. Like, I just did not working for people. So this was perfect. She's like, you can pick your own hours, you can be at home, you can just do that. So yeah, for me, that was absolutely like ticked every box. So I joined in November the 25th, 2006. It'll be for this year, so 2017, 2016. I had a really quick start to the business. I literally just jumped on live videos straight away in my first month. And that's how I built my business. So in my first month, I got like 38 customers. And I think I was on the leaderboard for UK and Ireland. But at the time, I didn't know what that meant. I didn't know. I just jumped in with both feet because I was desperate. I just wanted to make money. So I was doing these live videos, I'm making my shakes. I'm like, I don't know what they're like. I'm going to try this flavour and that flavour. And my business was built on the shakes and berry capsules. And that is purely because they were the only first 2 products that I was on. And that's because someone lent me some. Like, the girl that signed me up actually lent me a pouch shake and lent me some berry capsules because I just couldn't afford it. The sign up fee I borrowed it from my dad, which I still don't think I paid him back for. But it was just, you know, live videos, putting myself out there. And these inquiries just come flooding in. And from then, it went super fast. I actually did in my first month an SC, but I couldn't take an SC position. By February, I was SSC. And then I got to NMD after 18 months. And then I was growing from there. I would say I was growing because we're not allowed to say stuck, but my journey from NMD to NMD needed that amount of time to happen. I'll go on to that a bit later. But I needed to grow into that position. I needed to become a leader. I needed to become a little bit more selfless. A little bit more less selfish, selfless, and looked into like how I can look after my team more than I was chasing my own goals. So that was a big switch up for me. So I still actually teach my classes, obviously, before lockdown, because the two kind of go hand in hand, but I'm now in a position where I don't actually need to go back if I don't want to. But yeah, I don't know yet. It's quite a scary thing.
It's actually amazing to hear somebody say, you know, I needed that time. What the hell was that? Something just crashed.
Oh.
Sorry. It's so amazing to hear someone say, I really needed that time to grow. I think something just fell down in my cupboard. Sorry.
Oh.
I don't know what it was. I just have to ignore that. There's a hurricane going in my back garden or something. Yeah, so to hear someone say that you needed that time, because so many people get stuck or, you know, don't grow, don't move on to a position, and I know you overthink it, but when you get to the next position, you can really look back and see why you needed that time. And I'm sure you've always been an amazing leader to your team, but anyone else's keep sticking. Is everyone else all right hearing us? Yeah, everyone else can hear us. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about we'll go back to your journey from Q to NMD maybe in a little bit, but let's talk about customers. So when you first started, you said you were flying with customers, and do you think that was just because of or why do you think that wasn't? Have things changed now, or how are you getting customers now?
Yeah, so at the very beginning, it was purely live video. Unfortunately, I over lockdown was doing some free Zumba classes on Facebook, and it was really nice. I was building a big community, and we were getting thousands of people, viewers. It was amazing. And then unfortunately, I got blocked from doing lives on Facebook. So, and that's a permanent block. I will never get my lives back on my Facebook, unfortunately. So I'm actually really heavy on Instagram at the moment. But I would say if you have that luxury of going live, because it is a luxury for your business, use it. It is the best tool you can have. For me, that's how I got my customers from day one. That's how I've got my customers. I haven't had Facebook Live for 2 months, and it was because of a copyright thing and other people reporting me, but it was you know, I've had that taken away from me, but I still managed to go NMD without going live. I truly believe, I honestly believe I would have been an NMD quite a bit before if I had that lives. I reckon maybe more at the beginning of lockdown, maybe a month or two before if I had the lives, but I didn't. Which, you know, that's just how the cookie crumble for me. But lives, if you like, just get over yourself, get over the fear, forget the fear and just go for it, because people buy you. They're not actually buying the product, they're buying you. They trust you. They're buying it into your personality, your energy, your excitement. I will never forget going to Liverpool on Fire. I think you were hosting it actually, Emma, and there was Danny Cunro there, and she got up and made everyone do this task where she was like, right, everyone run around excitable, everyone talk to each other. Like, she put this crazy music on and everyone was really hyped. And that's how you have to be. You have to rock up every single day with nothing but energy. And like my voice notes, I voice note everyone. I don't text anyone when they're inquiring about products or anything. It's like I really try and build friendship with that customer first. I want to know everything about them, you know, what their goals are, not just that, but like their kids, what do they do for job, what do they, you know, voice note everyone and everything. My husband takes the mick out of me because he's like, you're constantly chatting to people, don't you get bored? And yeah, I get sick of my own voice, I get a dry mouth, I'm constantly rah, 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 rah. But it pays off. So if you don't have the luxury of a live, voice note people. Don't just send people a load of texts with, oh, our shakes do this, our berry capsules do this. People want to hear you because they're buying into you. I show that I'm on the product. I show that my family's on the product. I'm very real and honest, you know. We eat a lot of Italian food in our house, a lot of Turkish food. I'm very honest about the kind of naughty treats we have, but I also show that I have that balanced lifestyle. So I think that's quite important, to show that you're living the mission, but also a real person, and that this is a lifestyle plan that is sustainable for people. So I'm very honest about that. what else? Oh, so we're getting customers, blogging, vlog. Now I don't have the Facebook Live. I vlog a lot on Instagram, and actually my Insta stories are always full, like really full. Maybe I've got this from my upline Lou, but like she says, she gets a bit of a panic if she hasn't like uploaded something to her Insta stories, and I'm a lot like that. Like I have to keep my Insta stories rolling. I have to always have something on there. I show my family on there. You have to let people in. I truly believe, but as I said, people buy you. You have to let people into your life and see, you know, what you do. Like today's had a lot of interaction on my stories. I know some of my girls have seen, but I'm up in Norfolk at the moment, and we've been out and we did this obstacle course, and I just did this fairy elephant climbing over this apparatus. And I was like, oh my God, I don't know if I should do that. My bum's big, my arm's wobbly. And I was like, you know, I'm just going to put it out there. And it was me being me and being a goof. And Jackie, honestly, the amount of interaction it's had, it's nothing to do with my product. It's nothing to do with my business. It's me and like just being silly. And, you know, it just has builds up those conversations, you know, actually I've got a booster order tonight from a conversation from my Insta, but I can't put a booster order through right now, so we're moving her on to the berry capsules. But the point is, it started a conversation with someone. So have conversations with everyone and try and make sure you're conversating and adding like-minded people. Yeah, just go for it. The best way to get started is just go for it, do it, show everything that you're doing, like document like a diary, everything that you're doing, and network. Like we are in network marketing. If you're not networking, you know, what is network marketing? It's network, it's making friendships, chatting with people is so important. If you're just going to put a post out and sit and wait, that won't happen. You can't just expect to post and sit and wait for the orders to come in. You might be lucky and you might, you know, get about £100 a month from doing that, but you can't just sit and wait for people to come to you. You have to be making sure that, you know, I'm always following up with people. You know, we have DMO calls. I literally spend most of my time chatting to people on my inbox, just who's active at the time on my Facebook, who's active on my Instagram, like just always being available and always seeing who is available to chat to. Like, who could I talk to now? And I work out every single day, obviously. So lockdown, I've actually put on a stone on lockdown, even though I've been working out every day. I'm used to teaching sort of 4 to 5 classes a day, but I'm still doing my workout every day without fail. 6:30 in the morning, I'm on a DMO call with Jackie. So Jackie does a Facebook DMO call at 6:30. I take over at 7 for an Instagram call every day without fail. We're on that. And then from then I'm on my workout straight away. So I'm documenting that I'm doing my workout, and then straight away it's like, Shay, you've always got something to post about. If you're up on a DMO call, say good morning to everyone, show them that what you're doing, you know, that you're learning, that you're inspiring healthy living by doing your workout first thing in the morning. A lot of people go, I wish I had your energy, Sarah. And I'm like, well, if you haven't got the energy, I've got something that will help you with energy. So it's not just post, sit and wait. It's chat and inspire. And if you need to look at your own news feed, I think as well, like, is your news feed inspiring yourself? Is it making you laugh? Would you go and check your own news feed, or are you just putting loads of testimonials out that actually aren't yours? It's like something you pulled off of a, you know, testimonial site, which is still really important, but it's important to show you, your life. And yeah, sorry, I waffled a bit.
No, you've been fab. And you know what? You've got such an infectious, energetic like personality that comes out so much when you're talking. So I'm not surprised to you. I'm going to check out your Instagram story afterwards. I want to see what that's
it's diabolical.
I'm sure it's not. And you've got, guys, if you understand more about networking, that's exactly what Jackie's doing in the chat right now. Jackie is such a networker. She's posting your Instagram story for everyone to follow. So
it's so
nice one, Jackie. You've got such an amazing team who are supporting you so much.
Oh my God, I'm so lucky with my uplines. Honestly, I am. They're incredible. My downline side, like incredible. I'm so lucky.
We're such lucky to have such an amazing business. Okay, so let's talk about recruitment and team members.
Mm.
So I know you've got a super strong customer base. You've been smashing out customers. So what about recruitment? What is your like strategy for recruitment and getting new teamies?
So there's a couple of ways I'd say I do it, but I have to say do you know what? The first time I met Simon Bowler at head office, he said to me, any teammate you get, that even if they put 1 order through or 10 orders through, celebrate them, because you need crumbs to make your cake. And that is, I've always, thought about that. That's always stuck with me, that. And, I've got girls on my team that will put through maybe a couple of orders a month, and I've got girls that might not put anything through and then jump back in 3 months later and put loads through. You've just got to appreciate every single person that comes through your team. So actually looking at some of the team members I've got, like Gemma was a customer of mine for 2 years before she joined, and she become addicted. She had quite an addictive personality, but then come addicted to the product, and then that naturally organically led on to the business. And I truly believe, and again, this is something I've learned from Lou, your customers make your best team members, I think, although I wasn't a customer first. So that's why I do kind of look at it both sides. So the way I get my customers, my team members, is kind of organically. Like Renee, his girl on my team, is absolutely smashing it at the moment. She's going to go SSC this month. She switched from just sort of posting and waiting to absolutely networking, and she was looking at my Instagram, so from direct recruitment posts. She was just watching and said, I'm really interested, Sarah. And I was like, can I give you a phone call straight away? I was like, let's talk on the phone. And that's what I tend to do with people. Excuse me. I try to talk on the phone to them. I want to know about that person. And I think with Ren, I was on the phone to her for about an hour perhaps before she decided, that she was going to join. And by that hour's conversation, she had signed up. But I was genuinely interested in her, and she wasn't a customer first. She was someone that was like me, needed the money and wanted to just give it a go. As I said, I've got Gemma, who was a customer for a long time, who actually approached me as well. I've got girls on the team that I've approached. So I've got a new girl, Lauren, that I actually said to her, why don't you give it a go? Like, I think you'd be really good at it. So the way I would approach them is that there's so many different ways of doing it. You've just got to find what works for you. Remember, you're in attraction marketing. So ideally, you want people to come to you. You want people to say, wow, like, your team looks amazing. My team is amazing, by the way. The girls are incredible. But you've got to make it look amazing. We're in attraction marketing, so you do have to pretty things up a little bit. So you've got to make sure that you're putting yourself out there, your best self out there, and your team out there, and you're showing your team's successes, your sideline successes, like Carly Young, Charlotte Cornish. There's so many girls that are sidelines that are like really good friends of mine, that are Daisy Reynolds, the girls that are hitting big clubs that don't affect my business, but I'm celebrating their wins on my social media, because their stories and their interaction will then help attract other people to your business as well. So I feel like I'm going off on a bit of a tangent, sorry. But yeah, it's just there's just so many different ways that I recruit, ideally organically, through customers, but sometimes I'll just approach people. On our DMO calls, I know spamming is an absolute no-no. For me, I've only ever got 2 girls from doing the Insta spam, and again, they're kind of not fully like running with the business and going for it, but they didn't join from a point of desperation, I think, or a point of wanting something so bad that they were going to work hard for it. And I find they're the team members that tend to be, you can see they're going to be your NMDs and your PMDs. You can see them a mile off from, Olivia Measures also says they might be your diamond, they're not just polished yet, and I truly believe that as well. But you can see when someone joins if they're going to be your NMD, and if they just need that little bit of extra coaching. So yeah, oh, let me look at my notes. I
No,
don't know
you're
if
doing fab, and do you know what? It's so true what you said. Like, people join desperation, inspiration. So even though I was a customer first, I was very similar to you. I was money driven. Like, I literally needed this so much. But I totally agree with you. I recruit organically as possible. Like, if you're a customer and you love the product, I feel like that makes your job easier. But there are those rough diamonds out there, like you, like Hayley McLaughlin, like Olivia Measures, who maybe didn't join with the product first, but look how amazing you guys have done because you're so driven. And not everybody has the drive that you guys have, and it's a really unique, amazing, and I'm sure there's loads more, so for everyone else that I've missed out, I'm really sorry, but that, you know, it's a really amazing, unique personality trait to be so driven. So there's always those ones as well, and like you said, it is so different. There's so many different ways to recruit, and superstars come in loads of different ways. But no, you're not waffling at all, you're absolutely spot on.
Yeah, and also when I went, I was just going to talk about our brand a little bit, because a lot of people say to me, like some of the girls who join my team now are like, oh, do I need to do my own brand? So I was always with my Uplines brand until I hit QNMD, and then I just had this like feeling of like, I kind of feel like I'm a leader now. I felt like QNMD, I'd grown into a leadership position, and I was ready to kind of create my own brand, but I didn't just want it to be anything, you know, just anything. And I know there's so many brands out there that, you know, to show your business, but I decided that I wanted something that would fit with business and product together. And I remember I was driving Sophia to school, and Kanye West's song "Welcome to the Good Life" come on, and I was singing, and it was a sunny day, and I was singing "Welcome to the Good Life," and I was like, oh my God, the good life, that is it, that is it. And when I started that brand, for me, that's when things really started going, because I truly I was living the mission of my brand, not just the Juice Plus mission, but living the mission of my brand. I wanted to live my good life. I wanted people to join to live their good life, and the good life could be anything for anyone. So, you know, for me, when I joined, the good life was just to get through Christmas and not go around Morrison's with a calculator panicking you've got to put something back. I was that girl. Then the good life then developed, like my goal kind of developed into something else, you know, and it was like, right, okay, now the good life is maybe to cut down on a few of my classes and not be a slave to my work. And then the good life then for me now is like, we want to move abroad, we want to get a second property, and like the good life could be anything for anyone. I've got one of my girls on my call, and the good life for her, Julianne, she's watching now, her goal is to literally go up in a hot air balloon. That's all she wants to do. She wants to go up in a hot air balloon. And that for her would be living her good life. Like, you know, people say living your best life, but we have like living your good life. And the brand, when we put that together, was just, it felt so right. It felt really, really right to do that. And then I'll get onto that bit in a minute, because it's from going to NMD. I know you're going to ask that in a bit, but yeah, for me, when I got that and I felt it, and I just really was like, right, and I then went looking for people like me that were kind of desperate for something, like an opportunity, an opening, like looking for someone to help that was like me. And that's exactly what I did. And I think this is when it spiraled into NMD, but I'll come to that in a minute, sorry.
So shall we jump to that one then? Let's talk about getting to NMD, because was that my next question? I have one more before that, actually. I think I said, oh yeah, let's do
new team is
so we'll do that one quickly, then we'll go to NMD. So just people always ask me, so when I ask questions on the calls, I try and ask similar sorts of questions, but everybody always says, oh, I want to know more about how people get teamies off to a fast start. So let's just talk about that quickly. So how do you get your girls off to the quickest start to have success?
So as soon as they join, they get added to the Good Life New Starter group, which is a Facebook group, and in there you've got key information. So I say to them, the first thing you need to do is work your way through this group, then contact me when you've done that. You've got try and do that within the next 24 hours. It's really important that they do that, because it kind of shows that they're committed. I want to know if they're committed or if they're just interested. I want that commitment from them that they're going to do it. And even if that commitment's only going to be an hour a day, whatever it is, but if they can get through that, and I can see they're liking them posts that's in that group, there's different tasks in there. So it'll be watch this video of how to place your order. It'll be example posts of pictures. I'm really fussy about how my pictures look. I like everything quite aesthetically pleasing. And if they're using the brand, I want everything to be in keeping. I don't, I'm a bit funny about how my testimonials look and everything. So they kind of have got an idea. And I say to them, if I disappear off the face of the earth tomorrow, you're going to have everything you need in that group. Once they've done that group and they've ordered their product, they get added into our WhatsApp group, which my girls I know will probably say something, it is mental. So I've got a WhatsApp group. Some people don't like to have one. But this, is how, I'll speak about that in a bit, is I got to NMD is from this WhatsApp group. So the team go into this WhatsApp group, and we are the first people we say good morning to each other, and the last people we say good night to. I was talking to them 2 minutes before this, going, girls, I was so nervous. And they, as soon as they're welcomed into that group, they have joined a family. We literally are family. Super, super positive. So I've had a couple of people join the business previous, that are really, really negative, let's say. So I hadn't put them into the group because I don't want them to bring down the vibe. I'll do a bit of self-development training with them first, and then they can go into the group. But if I feel like they go straight into the group. And as I say, it's mental. The WhatsApp group is key for us. Some people hate groups, but for us it's key. And then I do a one-on-one call with them as well. I do a one-on-one call with them as well. I want to get to know them. So it'd be like 10-15 minutes where I'm just like, tell me about you. Like, I want to know about you. Like, what do you do? And it's just general sort of chit chat. Want to know about them. And then we kind of they get invited to our meetup straight away. Excuse me. So 2 days ago we all met in the park, social distancing of course. But there was like 15 of us, and we all met up at the park. And I was only 15 social distancing, but you know what I mean. Like, we were all sitting in a circle before anyone says anything. But
that makes me laugh. You accidentally got to the park at the same time, and then you were sat apart, so it's fine. You're fine.
Yeah, but yeah, meeting up's really, really important. So basically I'll get them off by new starter group, one-to-one call for 10 minutes to know about them, and then add them into the WhatsApp group, and that is huge. My upline Lou does online parties, and so we've done a couple of them as well, and I think that's something that I don't always do, but I know works really well for her. So she'll do an online party for her new team member, and then they'll add people into a Facebook group, and then they do an online party. We do that for our customers sometimes, like once a month we do a massive online party for Facebook, but I know Lou does it with every single team member that comes through. So that's a really good thing, actually. I need to take Lou's like really big on shake parties as well. As soon as they join, she's like, right, I'm going to get you a shake party. Sarah, have you done a shake party for your new team member yet? And I'm like, oh. So she's really good at that. I'm a bit bad at that, but yeah, and just get them to, I'll tell you what else I do with new team members. So after that 10-minute get to know each other chat, I get them to record me a 60-second video and send it to me about what they love about the product and why they joined the business. If they're not on product, just tell me why you joined the business in 60 seconds. Send it to me. They're all going to hear this now, my treat. And then I tell them, no matter how bad it is or how good it is, I'll make them post it on Facebook. I make them post it because that's their way in. And I know Joanne Upton, I don't know if one of the girls in my team's on, Joanne Upton did this, and she shared her IVF journey, and it was such a personal story to try and fit in 60 seconds. I felt a bit, hi Jo, I felt a bit bad making her do it in 60 seconds because it was such a lovely story. But she shared her IVF journey on the premium capsules. It helped with her egg health, and it helped her get her baby girl, which is so lovely. But I made her post it, and Joanne Upton is a queen of diamond plans now. She is. She just, and it's because she put herself out there. Teresa Evans, a girl who was like, go on, like, Teresa, you can do it. Go live. And we all got to, now she don't get off Facebook Live. She just goes for it. So yeah, get your team members to send you a 60-second video, and it just builds their confidence, and then they can re-record it if they need to. But that's huge, actually. That really worked well for us.
I love that. And what an amazing story about the idea. How amazing.
I know, it's lovely, yeah.
So nice. And do you know what, it's things like that that really bond the team as well, and people share so honestly, and not everybody wants to share that much, but honestly it's so amazing, and it really makes you appreciate our products so much, and the magic we can do. I've got a team WhatsApp group, and my Hustle girls, and we love it. And sometimes it's mental and it's really busy, and there's like thousands of chat, like loads and loads of stuff to catch up on, and I think it makes a big difference of new girls as well, so that they've got lots of different people to help and support them as well. So when people get promoted, we celebrate it in there. Yeah, definitely, we love the chat, don't we, Bon? So yeah, it's definitely a game changer for me as well. Okay, so final question, because I don't want to take up too much of your time, and we've already 30 minutes in, so I'm sorry, but you've been amazing.
Sorry.
No, I feel like I'm taking your time. I love you being on the call. Okay, so let's talk about how you went from, let's talk about that journey to NMD. So like, what happened? I mean, it's amazing, but what changed? Like, what did you do differently, or what do you think was the main things that helped it happen?
Yeah, so obviously lockdown was a huge thing because we had time. We had nothing but time. I mean, I couldn't go and teach my classes, so I had the full lockdown experience, as a lot of people did. So that was huge then. But I tell you what it was. My husband said to me, Sarah, you still like working hard? Because I'm always on my phone, on it. I never, ever, ever had a day off since I've joined. Never, ever. Like, the worst things have happened in my day, like the worst. Like, I've had bereavements, I've always been on it. I'm not saying everyone should, and everyone deals with things in different ways. You know, I've dealt with anxiety days. I've had days where, you know, like, you might have had a big row. You had days where you just feel it, but I've always been on it, no matter what. Every single day, Christmas Day, New Year's Eve, whatever. I'll document everything. So I've always worked really hard, but I wasn't working very, from QNMD up until to 18 months of QNMD, and then I was there for 2 years. It took me from QNMD to NMD, and for that, in that 2 years, it got to last December, and I lost a big leg of mine. I say big leg, she was a reasonable leg, probably my biggest leg I had. And that really knocked me. It knocked my confidence. And I just thought, what am I doing? What? Like, I don't know if I literally had a split second of, I don't know if I should be doing this anymore. My pay line dropped from Q to a SC pay line. And I was thinking, oh my God, what the hell am I going to do? And then Errol said to me, you're not working like you did when you went for QNMD, are you? You're not as focused as you were. And I was like, tell me I'm not focused. And that was it. That went in my head. You know what? I'm going to prove you wrong. I'm going to go for it. I am focused. I am. So I remember messaging Jackie and when I'm going to get on your DMO call. As of tomorrow, I'm going to be on your DMO call. This was in the March. And I said, you watch, I'm going to do NMD. I'm going to do it. June 2020. Actually, I said in December I'm going to do NMD June 2020, and it was plastered around my house. I had it on the screensaver on my phone. I had it on my mirror in my bathroom. I had a vision board. I got oh God, it's so bad. The kids are chanting, like, not so much Joe, but Sophia's like, Mum, you NMD this morning. Mum's going to be at NMD. I know Carly Young had it with her girls. It was the sweetest. Carly's got a lovely video of her girls chanting it. But literally, Sophia was like, are you NMD yet, Mum? Oh, so when did you go to NMD? Like, it was drummed in my head. I actually got sick of hearing the position. That's how much I installed it in me. But I was like, you watch. I'm going to do it. I'm literally going to do it. And you know, people go, I just decided to do it. But that was it. I just committed. So there's a great podcast with Ed Milet and John Asaraf, who is one of the speakers on The Secret, which I literally live my life by. And he was really talking about, you've either got to be committed or interested. There's a big difference between being committed and interested. And Harold actually sent me this podcast and was like, listen to this, I think you'll really like this. And this is the day before he'd said to me, you know, you're not as committed as you was. Sent me this podcast, and wow, I was like, right, I've always thought I was committed, but no, I'm committing to this. There's nothing going to stop me. And actually, in my last month, the month before I went NMD, I finished on a that was Carly, 16 grand. I was on a 22 grand pay line and 21 grand pay line. And one of my best friends, Carly, was like, the month before she went NMD, she was on a 16 grand pay line. And she was like, Seth, I was on a 16 grand pay line and I went to a 42. You can do it. And I was like, I know I can. And it was that constant mantra, that constant every morning getting up. There were some mornings I would literally be so tired I felt sick. But I had my vision board next to my bed. As soon as I opened my eyes, it was there. And I just spent a couple of minutes looking at it, NMD. I bought some wooden letters and I stuck it on my vision board next to my bed, NMD, right, got out of bed. You know, every time I put my foot down on the floor, thank you for being NMD. And it was just that constant, you know, installing it into me that it was going to happen. There was no doubt. And I remember in the last month, my pay line was like still quite a way off. And I spoke to Emma King, who's a sideline in the business. And, you know, we chat all the time. She's like, how's your pay line? And I said, oh, you know, it's low, but, you know, it doesn't matter. It's going to happen. I don't know how, but I know it's going to happen. And she was like, oh, well, you know, her pay line was higher than mine. And she was like, well, I'm definitely not doing it. I was like, you can do it, Em. You can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. So we were both kind of spurring each other on. And 3 days before the end of NMD, I think I was on a 30 grand pay line. The last day, the last 48 hours, we pulled in one day, we pulled in 5.5k in one day from the WhatsApp group. This is what I'm saying. That's why the WhatsApp group is key, because we pulled in 5.5k in orders. It was ridiculous. And we did have some sideline help, literally a couple of orders from sidelines, but it was mostly the Good Life team. And Mark and Lou helped me massively. Hayley helped me as well. Which I appreciate every single order, but it was the majority was the Good Life team. That WhatsApp group went off. They were like, they were committed to be an NMD team. I was like, girls, this isn't my position. This is for us. We need to be an NMD team. The time is now. We have to let it happen. We have to make it happen, and it did. It happened. You know, it was just it was so emotional. So emotional, but it was the self-belief, the focus, the drive. I told my family, that's what I was like, you know, I had to make sacrifices. I said to my family, have sacrificed a lot. I had to say to them, like, I'm going to be out of it, like, you're going to have to take the kids away, like, and just leave me just to get this done. And it was literally 6 a.m. to like 2 a.m. I had spots, grey skin, like, I looked awful. I wasn't even working out the last few days. I was just disgusting. Didn't brush my teeth. I was committed to making it happen. Like, it was going to happen, and it did. Just go for it. Just don't even doubt. If you doubt yourself once, Lucy Wright says, if you tell yourself you can't, you're right. If you tell yourself you can, you're right. Oh, I'm so emotional.
You're making me emotional. It's so amazing. And, you know, you've just shown that, don't start, because you've already left, I'm already starting. And it's not even my journey, but it's just when you hear someone who's got so much passion, you've built such an amazing team, not just your downline, your upline, like, you have shown that it's so much more than just building, you know, new customers. You build a team, you build a family, you build your mindset, you change the way people think about the world. It's so amazing, and I'm so elated for you that you smashed it, and you absolutely deserved it. And you got the comments going crazy, my WhatsApp's going mental, going, oh my god, this girl's amazing. And there's a reason why you're a national marketing director, you know?
Oh god, it's you've got to have a passion for it, and I think that's it. Like, it's just that, like my husband says, you love it more than me. Like, I do. I just love it. I really, really do. But you have to sacrifice things, you know, and that was quite hard. But how you guys do PMD and PMD plus, I think I'm just going to die because it just takes every bit of you. But you've got to want your team's positions more than your own. That's huge. Like, seeing my girls hit their positions is just everything. So yeah,
it's so. And Alex Webb, bless him, he always said to us, this business is about walking backwards and pulling people forwards, and you know, you get to help other people get what they want, and in return you get what you want, and you're a classic example of that. It's amazing. So
thank you. Yeah, you got to pay it forward. You've got to just look for people that need your help with product, with business, like who needs our help. Look for people to help first, and in turn it'll help you out. So yeah.
Well, you've set the whole call off crying. Everyone's cheering you on, crying for it at the same time.
Sorry, I cry. I'm such a crier. I cry at everything. I cry at someone else's wedding. I don't even know.
I'm a crier too.
Oh my God, I'm such a melt.
My daughter won a horse riding competition on Tuesday, and as soon as they announced, I turned around and went, "Don't cry, Mum." I was already blubbering.
Oh God, honestly, I'm just a nightmare. Lou will laugh at me. Honestly, I cry at everything. I remember watching Lou go. What did she do in the December? Was it the IMD? She did in the April at a convention, and I didn't even know Lou then, and I was bawling my eyes. I hardly knew her, and I was like, "Oh my God!" So yeah. Sorry, I'm all right now.
It's such a team business, and it's such a more than a business. It does become like your second family, and
it is. It's
what
everything.
you said is, you know, you are either interested or committed. And I always say, if you were given the opportunity of front row tickets at a Beyonce concert, or whoever is your idol, right, you would move heaven and earth to get there. So that's what this business has. It has to be your Beyonce concert every single day. Like, you have to realize that this is the honey pot in your hand, and you can literally change your whole life. Sarah, thank you so much. Like, honestly,
no, thank you.
You have inspired 400 people. You have 450 people on this call.
Oh, don't set me up again.
You should be so proud of yourself.